Hey folks, Micah McGee here. Today's video starts where all others end. Here's the deer I got. I was heading up through there. I was going to get y'all all set up. I was going to do a nice hunt on camera because the boys obviously had done got some on camera, but the deer were there before I even got there, even though it's early. So I had to take off-handed shot. Didn't have to, but I did because I wanted some meat, right? I set the tripod up as best I could. Here's what happened. Matt. Dropped her after I missed her once. Hit her running wide open too. Oh my goodness. I was planning on setting up here and hunting this evening, but they were here when I got here. Nice big deer. I hit her high in the back right here. Broke her spine. Oh my goodness. Big doe. Nice big doe. I kind of like hunting more than just killing, but where I have to sit in order to see down here, there was 4 or 5 deer in that bunch right here. I wasn't going to get in there and get set down, so I just went ahead and took my chances. Got this deer. The boys are off doing other things. Matthew's setting traps. David is setting traps. Joel is getting some water for his mother and busting some wood for Frank. They all and Caleb is sick in the bed, so they left it to me, and I handled it. All right, let's see if McGee can load a deer by himself. She's pretty heavy. Not terrible, but she'd be over 100 pounds. Completely limber too. That makes it even harder. All right, how are we gonna do this? There ain't no way. Goodness. I'll be interested to see what she field dresses. Say, McGee, I thought you was stout. I did too. There we go. All right, I'm gonna take this deer to the house. Get her field dressed, and I'm gonna check her in at the checking station. All right. Here's what you can do if you're wanting to gut a deer on the bed of your truck where you can easily handle it. Maybe you don't want to gut it on the bed of your truck, but you can if you want to. I got a lot of boys that help me around here, you know. So, put it on over like this. You're gonna cut all the way around both holes. Now we got a little dropping here. We could either juggle or we could work. Come here, Matt. You're just in time. I always save the liver, the lungs, and the heart if they're not shot. These aren't shot, and we know that. Come here, Matt. Just kind of hold out like that. Now you can tie this leg over there too, but you don't have to. There's not a lot of hair around this back end, and that makes this job pretty easy. Connect this cut like this, and then you're just going to go in, go around. You don't want to go down the middle because that's where all the pipes are. Now we're going to just continue on down, go around, down and around. That's all you got to do. Boy, look at the fat roll out of this deer. We have killed the fattest deer this year that I remember killing in a long time. So once you get this done and loosened up, you're just gonna, I skip this area right here. I leave that intact. I'll just deal with that later because that's just gonna expose these ham meats to hair. We're gonna just go along here and just lightly get under this skin. Just go right up the dead center. I'm amazed at the size that this deer seems to be. We'll know more later, but look at that fat layer. Oh, did we kill one this year yet like this?
I don't think so.
No. Here in Tennessee, this is a rare sight to see one just layered in fat like this, especially since we had a very poor acorn crop. But this deer right here is layered up in fat better than any. This is the 8th deer that my family's got this year. My 3rd. We never got one like this. This is gonna be interesting to see what she weighs. Deer fat, by and large, is not good to eat. And I don't want to cut the guts. That's the #1 priority right now. I think I'm in. I'm not 100% sure. There we go. Okay, now I know. And I'm just gonna finish up this back by taking it basically to the udder. Turn around. See, there's the last layer right there. And if I go in like this, I'm gonna cut my hand instead of cutting the guts, which I'd rather cut my hand as cut the guts. And if you never gutted a deer, you might not understand why. Okay, now, coming on up through there. Now, the diaphragm is right here. Right here. When you hit the sternum, you're at the diaphragm. And that, my friend, is when it gets hairy because it gets bloody fast. And YouTube don't get along with blood too good at all. The diaphragm, I just go ahead and cut the top side all the way off. And then that allows me to get in and get the heart, lungs, and such like. There's the heart. I just cut it right loose. It's I cut that with my knife, but that's a big heart, but it's kind of floppy. This deer might be old. I'm thinking this deer might be quite old. All right, the liver's right here too. At this point, I can tell I'm not even going to try to monetize this video. No use in it. That's the liver. Well, something went through the lung right there. Shrapnel, I guess. It's illegal for a butcher shop to sell you lungs in most places. So the only way to get lungs is to get them yourself. Butcher your own animal. And see, there's the whole thing that I cut around right there. So now that it's out, all we lack is doing this. You want to back the trailer on up here, man? Just back her right on in. Oh! All right, at this point, we just offload the guts right there. At this point, we're going to wash it out with a water hose, really clean. Get all the blood out, all the guts out, everything, anything that's in there. Right now, the only thing left in there is blood and bones, the shrapnel. We're going to spray it out real good right quick, and then we'll take it in and get it checked in. All right, we're going to check this deer in right now. By law, you have to have a temporary tag on the deer while you're transporting it. It's a transport tag. And so we got that on there. We're going to go check it in, and then we're going to go skin it, hang it in a cooler overnight. But we're not going to age this deer. But I want to show you, there's two things. I'm not going to age the deer, but I want to show you, I promised to skin the next deer I got with the knife that Shore Sharp sent me, and I appreciate it a lot. He sent it from somewhere off from here. It wasn't even in Tennessee, and I really appreciate it. He sent all my boys knives. It's really nice. And he sent me one specifically, and that touched my heart. I'm going to skin this deer with it. And so let's get moving. We're not going to age this deer because I want the phosphates to be in the meat. Here comes Matt. The phosphates leave the meat the longer you age it, and I need phosphates to bind this meat. I've got an idea for a sausage. You're going to see it tomorrow. Let's get out of here. All right, this is the check-in station where we check our deer in. Oh, this deer is going to weigh a lot. I just got a feeling. Exactly 106 pounds dressed. No wonder I couldn't lift her up. Come around here, Miss Grace. I want to show you. This is likely the heaviest doe I've ever killed in my life. Can you guess how much she weighed?
126 pounds.
You're very close. You're 20 pounds off. 106. And that's heavy for a doe. That's without the guts. With the guts in, she would have been 126 pounds.
Yay! So I was right.
And in this video, you're gonna see me try to lift her in this truck by myself, and I about busted a gut. Yeah, it's soft. All right, you can take her up. That's good. All right, folks, we're gonna skin this deer on camera. Katie, come here and look at this. I want you to see.
All right.
All the deer I've killed this year, I've not seen this kind of fat. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
That's unreal.
That's a big layer of fat.
That's unbelievable. Here's my new knife.
Well, that's a pretty handle.
I tell you what, if I'd have known people was going to give me new knives, I'd have started YouTube a long time ago. Oh man.
But you have.
And I promised that I would skin my next deer with this knife.
Ew.
And what does that tell you, Miss Grace? That means I got to do it.
Yep.
All right, right here is where a lot of people throw this part of the deer away because it's real easy to miss. But if you got a good sharp knife from somebody that's watching you on YouTube, you can do stuff like this. Just get right in there like that, and it'll just cut right away. And when you're like me and you make a lot of sausage, that comes in handy to have a little extra meat. And on tomorrow's video, you're going to see a sausage I've never made before. I'm going to try to make a special sausage with this exact deer because I want to use it before it fully ages while it's still got phosphates in the meat.
What's
Because phosphates is something that helps the meat bind together to where when you pick up your sausage, if it don't have hair all over it like that, you can eat it without it just crumbling. So a lot of people use commercial grade phosphates because they don't have fresh meat like we have. We have fresh meat, so we don't have to do that.
And Micah, I think you've got like a more than 119 deer.
I've got 132. This is number 132 for me. And you folks, I mean, if any of you young guys, I don't have hardly any young boys watching me. Every once in a while I realize I do. Somebody will say something nice. But you look at this chart right here and you'll see the older you are, the more likely you are to watch this channel. And as we know, with age comes wisdom. So I think the smartest people on earth watch me. That's what I think.
Well, we're pretty young and we watch you.
I know, but you're smart. See, that's the difference. Once you get this like this, you can just pull her right on down. Grab this and yank down on it. Me and you together ain't strong enough. What's wrong with us? But with this big knife, there we go. Oh, look at that. Look at all that fat. That is unreal. I'm afraid if I just yank down, I'm gonna lose it all, but maybe not. Wow, she's peeling better than most. All right, at this point, we're just gonna run our knife on down this brisket all the way down the neck, which on this deer is a good little ways up through here.
I didn't know deer had brisket.
Yeah, there's not much to it. Wow, that is peeling. Very unusual for a deer to peel off this good.
It's going off super nice.
Super nice.
Then maybe 6 or 7 isn't that young for a deer.
6 or 7 is old for a deer. Their lifetime is like 10 or 11 on a really old one.
A rabbit's lifespan is 9 or 12 years.
Well, that's about the same as a deer. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, now we can come right down through here like this. All right, on these here, you can just cut this tendon, cut this tendon.
Are the tendons easy to cut through?
Tendons are easy to cut through. Just like that. A gift for you.
A gift for me?
Yeah.
A gift for Poochie.
Yeah.
I want one.
No, it's for you, not Poochie.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Poochie would gladly enjoy it.
Oh, I know it, but Daddy might not like it.
I want one.
Let's try pulling this side and see if it goes as easy. Wow. I'm very happy with this, Grace. It's like there's a layer of fat here, and I can feel it on the skin that's allowing it to pull free. I don't know if I ever had a deer that did that. Longbow Banjo down in Alabama is a deer skinner, skins thousands of deer a year. He might get on here and say, oh, that's common in Alabama. But more than likely he's going to say another beautiful video. Because he's too busy. He's too busy to make a really big comment anymore because people are bringing him deer every day. You know he gets sometimes 40, 50 deer a day.
That's an insane amount of deer.
That's crazy. That
His
means,
hands must be tired.
do you know how much he works? He works like 18 hours a day.
Or 24/7.
No, he can't do that. Nobody can do that. But he works on deer 18 hours a day. I would cut myself. Well, I cut myself anyway, and I don't work that long. I'll tell you one thing. This knife is really working well.
Oh, I hear that bone crack.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like when I put my knee out first time.
Oof.
I was in that field across the road from my property way before I ever bought that place. Probably 1997, 98. And my knee did that. That was a bad day for me.
Was it bone or ligaments and tendons?
It dislocated and tore the meniscus, and before it could come back together, the meniscus folded in half. So I could never straighten my knee. It was crooked.
Oh my.
And so I was out plowing with a team of mules in a walking plow, and it popped back out. And so I was good for 20 years, but it just got to where I couldn't live with it. And I went and got stem cell shot, and man, did that ever do it. Built it back like brand new. Everybody I've talked to with knee replacement says they're still hurting. At this point, we're just going to finish skinning this neck out, cut the head off, hang it up in the cooler. That's a good deer right there. So I just got a text back from my buddy. I sent him a picture of the lower jaw of this deer because I wanted to know how old this deer was. I was impressed with this deer. And he works for DNR down in Florida. And I know it's cheating to have a friend that tells you the age of the deer, but it's not that easy to tell, at least for me, to tell the age of a deer, especially if it gets over a year and a half, 2.5. He said he would lay money on this deer being 5.5 years old. That might be one of the oldest deer I've ever killed. And that might not seem old to you, but that's pretty old for a deer. But this deer really was a good one. But as you can tell, I'm ready to go back out. I got 2 buck tags left in my pocket. I got to get to work. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.